toss it to Kunal. Kunal, how are you seeing this market? We've seen a very long period again of consolidation in around the 24K band. Uh, does it still look difficult?
Yeah, it looks difficult because we are still in this band or range for the index. 54 trading sessions so far that the Nifty is stuck into this 23,800 or 23,750 as a support and 24,500 broadly as a resistance. So 2%, 3% kind of a band playing out for the past 2.5 odd months for the indices. And of course, it's grinding for the index. Yes, we've seen sector patterns emerge. Yes, we've seen positivity in terms of VIX cooling off and global data points, I think now starting to be a little bit more favorable compared to what it was maybe I think a couple of months back. So all of that is positive, but the index is unable to find any kind of a major up move. The Bank Nifty yesterday managed to close below the 200-day moving average. The Nifty yesterday managed to close below the 50-day moving average. So that keeps the markets a lot more flatlined. But yeah, I think this range of 24,000 to 24,300, which is a very, very tight and an immediate or a short-term range, that range continues.
Kunal, do you see a breach of 24,000 today?
I don't think so. Sajid, in fact, yesterday what happened is that one of the key contra indicators on the hourly charts entered into the oversold territory. So that could probably put the floor for the index from yesterday's low 24,070 for the Nifty. I think we would now see that as a floor for the index, at least for today. Maybe start of the next week, yes, the markets can come back into retest of the previous lows.
And because you don't have a strong support which is at 24,000, but 23,800 is where we are seeing a good put strike build up which has been seen.
So largely the range for the Nifty, as I was mentioning at the start, that 23,800 is the support and 24,500 is the resistance. This has been the 700-point range for the Nifty. So it's bound to be that the markets would want to have slight bit of buffer. But it's not that I was looking at the quantum of positions on the option side. There was a point when the options, so not just the put call ratio, but there was a point when the quantum of positions on the puts and the calls as in cumulative OI was almost like 1.5 times of what we are seeing right now. And I'm comparing this with the previous couple of expiries for the index weekly options. So maybe that also tells you that the interest or the trading volumes in terms of the options have net dropped down, and that is also I think one of the reasons why you're seeing the markets not probably trying to cling on to those round figure numbers and maybe having that slight bit of an extra buffer.
Okay. I want to also quickly zoom in on the PSU banking index because Kunal, that's been under pressure in the recent week gone by. What's the sense now on this one? Would you say that this dip is more of an opportunity to buy?
So for very selective stocks, in fact, SBI, PNB, Bank of Baroda, there are a few names. In fact, Bank of Baroda is at a 52-week low or very close to a 52-week low. SBI has been a slight drag. The stock around the 1,030 plus levels broadly. And I think there are a few odd names on the PSU banking stocks which have been underperformers. But then there are other stocks which have actually done reasonably well. I'm talking of the non-FNO stocks. For example, take a case of Bank of Maharashtra. That stock has done exceptionally well in the last 1.5 odd year. Currently perched at 80, 85 plus levels where the stock is trading right now. There are few of the other PSU banking names like PNB, etc., which managed to recently come back into a breakout of its 200-day moving average. So there's one set where the markets within the PSU banking names, the markets are probably giving slight bit of a higher edge, maybe a higher bit of a trend expectations over there. But there's the other set within the PSU banking names, which I believe are acting as a drag. And because of these two sets offsetting itself, you see the PSU banking index largely being more flatlined.
Kunal, your picks in a market like this?
So I'll go with Indian Bank. As I was pointing out, that there are few stocks which are being outperformers and the ones which are trading above their 200-day moving averages. Indian Bank is one of the stocks which is trading above the 200 DMA. The stock is on the verge of a breakout above the 900 mark, which I believe on short-term basis could be a decent swing breakout for the stock price. So we'd look at a target of 910, stop loss to be kept at 864. The second stock which I would recommend would be one Adani Power. The stock came into the recovery mode after I think almost 3-4 weeks of a straight price correction, reaching the oversold territory around the 205 mark, bouncing off from its key short-term as well as a medium-term moving average. So the risk reward is attractive. Stock closed at 216 approximately yesterday. So we'd look at a buy with a target of 230 and stop loss at 208.
Okay. So those are your picks you want to keep on your radar, Indian Bank and Adani Power. What we'll do is slip into a very short break. Come back, we'll have our researchers give us a perspective of what stocks are on our radar for this morning. What are the big buzzers expected to be? Stay with us.